Good afternoon, welcome back to the channel on that's Good Friday, and as per usual for the UK it's absolutely chucking it down with rain and not a great deal to do. I had plans to do other things outside, but anyway, doesn't matter. Part of the plans for this weekend, because I'm off for 5 days from work, part of the plans was to get in the garage here, produce an extra episode. I know it's been a quiet 2 weeks. I've been talking to Baz on a couple of occasions, and he's getting on with rebuilding the engine as and when he can, because he was saying he's got a few of the guys off on, because it's half term, he's got guys off on leave and other bits and bobs, so and it's all hands on pumps there, so he's going to get onto the engine as and when he can. So yesterday he got in touch, and he's now fitted the as you've seen in the last update on the last post I put up. I'll also put it on this video as well, so that the bottom end of the crank, the pistons, and you know the guts, if you like, of the main engine are all refitted. Excuse me. So the yesterday the oil pump has been refitted. You mentioned, Baz mentioned that the tension on the chain wasn't as taut as it liked it to be, and that's with obviously a new oil pump and a new chain. And the reason for ordering a new chain was because, you might recall on the strip episode when I stripped the engine, that was like really slack, and Baz was saying that, you know, it's pretty common on them to find them a little bit more slack than you'd expect on them. They don't make a noise. In fact, you know, I never had any issues with oil pressure or anything on mine. It never looked like it slipped a tooth or anything like that, which won't make no difference anyway. But he's going to gasket it out and try and get a bit more tension on the chain, and see how it goes. So that is literally where the engine's at the minute. You know, I guess the rest of the jobs would be fitting the baffle plate, the sump, the spacer, the baffle plate, the sump, and then of course put the timing gear back on with the cam, the back of the cam cover in, and that's pretty much it really. I've got the rest of the bits here, mostly the outer cam cover and the lower cam cover, which needs a clean, which I hadn't done actually. I just realised. And of course then when it comes back in, I've got the gasket for the cam cover, the cam oil spray bars, and various other bits to refit. Obviously HT leads, coil, manifold, inlet manifold, throttle bodies, thermostat housing, rear engine manifold, the oil cooler assembly, you know, and obviously to plumb it and wire it in. I've decided, as I said in the previous episode, to replace the paddle clutch with a normal clutch, which should be able to cope with it anyway. So at least that's what I'm going to try. So so yeah, we're in a pretty decent place. The plan was obviously to, you know, to get it back on the road for the first week in May, MOT'd and everything. But I'm not in that position, and that's mostly due to my own fault for a lot of it. Sourcing the bits to get to Baz, sending the bits, you know, getting my ass into gear basically, and then you know, but it's been busy and with doing other things, so it's in hand. I will get it back on the road this year. Really looking forward to it, because it's been a long time since I've heard it running. So one of the things I will do at some point before I put the engine back in, as I will disconnect all the earth points, clean everything up to nice bare metal, and remake all the earths just to make sure, because it's been stood in here and it's not, obviously not the, you know, it does get damp under certain conditions. and so I just want to make sure everything's good and none of it's fuzzy and shit, so I have any issues when I fire it back up again. I'm going to drain the tank. I'm going to try and find somebody who's got something that can use to drain the tank, and I'll put put half a tank of nice fresh E5 fuel in, because this has been obviously stood now for 12 months, just over 12 months, so I need to get that kind of stuff sorted. So there's a few bits to do, before the engine arrives, and obviously today one of those jobs is taking the fuel injectors out from the January throttle bodies. So to take that out, most of you will know, some of you won't. So to remove it, I'll have to remove the fuel, fucking hell, what's it called? Unfortunately, after the stroke, I have some brain fog. One of those things, shit happens. But yeah, the fuel rail, I got there in the end. So I had to remove the fuel rail. So it's 4 cap bolts. Then there's clips. Pull the clips out. Just pull out with a screwdriver, and then simply just remove the injectors from the housing. So obviously this is obviously number 2. This is the one that I suspect had caused an issue. So I'm just hoping that when they get tested, they're all right, or serviced, tested and then serviced, and they'll be okay. Failing that, I'm going to struggle to get some, because as I mentioned in the previous episode, I haven't been able to get any. So I'm hoping they're going to be fine. We'll see how that one goes. Not that confident, to be completely honest, but anyway, we'll see. And so there's a local place. I asked on my personal Facebook page if anybody knew if there was anybody local to North Wales that tested fuel injectors, and a few people got back to me. One of my old mates who you'd recognise from doing the 106 and stuff like that is Howell, a chap called Howell, runs Star Autocare here on the island, who MOTs the car for me. He suggested there's a guy just up the road from him, a couple of miles, in a village called Gairwen here on Anglesey. So I'm going to pop and see. I'm going to see him. So you see Ed Parry, and get the fuel injectors checked over first, and then if they're good, get them serviced, get the filters and stuff changed, and hopefully everything will be good, so we can put them back on the engine, and get it firing up so we can hear the throttle bodies. And of course, no heavy revving, because I'll have the small matter of running the engine in. So that's it though. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go into a I'm not going to go into a time motion actually. I'm just going to record removing these so that you can see how that goes. So right, I'm just going to get a couple of tools out, and I'll see you in a minute. Right then, welcome back. First things first, just going to pop these out. What I'm going to do is try and use something to stop me from scratching the fuel rail. What have I got? Oh, very good actually. Bits of cardboard. Yeah, this will do. Just good enough for that. Bits of cardboard. So I'll take the clip off. That's one. Second one. Third. And last one. So that's 4 of those off. Next thing is it's a 4mm cap bolt. 1, 2, 3. Oops. Not that tight. They don't need to be honest. So it's that one off. And of course now you've got to be careful because there's spaces underneath, so they're longer than you think, quite long really. So that's spacer out with one bolt out, so just put that in there. Same with this one. and of course we're going to have O-rings and stuff like that inside them, which I'm going to have to order, which I have forgotten, to be honest. So that's 2. Number 3. Number 4. So spray set. So that's all those off. So right, let's get the injectors off. A bit tighter than I thought they're going to be. Right, let's get the camera over here safely so I don't slip and hit it. Okay, that's that one. That's one up. Number 2. They're bloody tight, proper tight these. They've been in there a while, obviously. Okay, second one. There we go. Just a bit tight those. What I'm going to do is get some masking tape and mark the one that I suspect potentially could be foot. So the guy can identify it when he tests it. So I'm just gonna put that in there. So everything seems to look okay, but you know, things looking all right and being all right are 2 different things, aren't they? Really. So okay, so I've got a plastic bag here actually. That's no, I'm not going to bother with that one. There's bits in there. So okay, as far as I'm aware, these just pull out from the rail. Proper sticky, proper stuck. So what I'll do is, well, hopefully I can get fucking O-rings for these. Excuse the French. Hopefully I can get O-rings for them. I definitely can for the fuel rail. Obviously these are 3-piece, aren't they? I'm hoping I can get away with leaving them in actually. We'll see. But removing these, Christ, dry as a bone and tight. Fucking hell, that was tight. Bit of swearing going on today, so I apologise for that. It's a bit of a sweary kind of day. Gee whiz, that's flipping tight, that one. Ow! Smashed myself in the doors on that one. Never mind. Let's get them out. Right. Bloody hell. There's no way these were going to leak anyway. Okay, now ridiculously tight those. Okay. No, there was absolutely no fear of those leaking, was there? Gee whiz. Let's get this one out. Still struggling for grip on my left hand, really, when it comes to it. So okay, now that was tight. Right, okay. So that's the fuel rail now, devoid of its burners. So what I'm going to do fucking hell, I'm right in its fucking tooth, that one. But anyway, put this on, put that on, right whip obviously. Go. So they're all assembled, and everything's together where it should be. So when you put things like this together, there's no chance of losing anything. I'll give them all a wipe and a clean before when I put the fuel injectors back in. Hopefully the same ones back in. And what I'll do then is obviously I'll put these back in the car. So don't get shit and dust in them. Right then, so that is job done. The clips I'm going to put in this bag, and the rest of the bits. So I probably forgot where I put these, and I'll probably be reviewing this video at some point to figure out where I put them. Right, so but yeah, they all look all right, and all linkages and stuff have been sorted out on the last occasion. So yeah, mission accomplished really. So right, the offending article. We'll yeah, we'll see how it goes. See whether these this one's anything's failed inside it. I'm sincerely hoping not, because well, I can't get them. It seems I can't get the fuel injectors for love nor money. So we'll see how that one goes. But so yeah, that's a brief video today. That's the update. That's the latest with what's happening with the engine. Fuel injectors removed. So what I'll do now is I'll give the chap a ring this week and get planning to get these across to him and get them checked and serviced. See what the score is with obviously with the one that was on number 2. So yeah, fingers crossed it's all going to be all right. And if not, then we'll have to go and figure out what plan B will be. Well, I kind of already know what that would be. Would be buying a set of fuel injectors. One of the guys on the 205 GTI forums said that you can buy a set of Volvo ones, and the downside to that is obviously when they're fitted, I'll have to have the whole engine remapped again, which I don't really want to do. I want to fit and you know, fit and fire up the engine and straight hopefully into happy motoring after it's run in, etc. But yeah, cross that bridge if we come to it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything crossed, that the injectors will be all right, and that it was just a case of, you know, he just possibly couldn't handle the fueling where it was, because it was flat out, to be honest. We'll see. But and I won't be doing that again, because it's a very expensive lesson to learn. Even though I had done it a few times before that. But anyway, as things stand, the channel is on. Let's have a look. We are on. Because I could be recording this with a 1000th subscriber in. No, I am at 999. Don't know whether they can see that. 999th subscriber subscribed yesterday, and a chap called Ben Pearson, who I know through work, who works and is an engineer on the Red Arrows aircraft. So I work for Rolls-Royce. Defence Aerospace, and one of my jobs is that provide technical support to the Red Arrows with regards to the Red Arrows engine fleet. So anyway, something happened to the footage, not quite sure. It all went all lines and blurries and all kinds of shit. So to record this again, as you can see, everything's been restored back to how it was before I started filming and looking at the 205. So I was just saying that, yeah, we've got to 999 subscribers, almost at the 1,000 mark. So the original video, I was saying that thanks to everybody so far who subscribed, especially to those of you who have stuck by me in the last 12, 13 months. It's been a particularly difficult time for me personally, and of course issues with the engine haven't helped any, but yeah, thanks to everybody for standing by me and the channel, and you know, hopefully in the next few weeks I'll get the engine back and get cracking, get it in the car, get it wired up, plumbed up, and ready to rock and roll for MOT and get it running in, even, and so that's the plan, that's the hope. It will happen at some point, and then once that's happened, we're good to go. We're in a good place. We can crack on, and we can, you know, I can start pushing out you know, some episodes again, weekly episodes, all being well. So but yeah, thanks to everybody. Big massive welcome on board to the new subscribers, and just yeah, brilliant. If you haven't yet, please go back and look through the archives of the Club Sport project. You know, from the start, there's loads of good information in there. It shows the, you know, all the way through, you know, when I got it finished and was driving it around and everything. So that's pretty much it for this episode. As ever, stay safe, look after yourselves. Catch up with you in the next episode. See you later.